What's up, all space? I'm E Global, and this is my first episode of Talking Shit. And to join me, I got my boy, my lifelong brother, I may as well say, is Charles Malik. And on the other side over here, I got my man, which is actually his cousin, who put us into this game, and my boy Soul G right here. And today, I'm getting ready to get into my real life avatar and interview my brother. Chuck, no other than Chuck D, Public Enemy. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What up, bro? Yo, I with that thing on your I'll be drawing. So that thing on your head, right? Of course, the virtual world. It looked like two little eyes on it, man. I gotta draw that as a character.
Like a bumblebee, somewhat, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna draw it, man.
Hey,
I'm gonna draw it.
welcome to All Space, bro. Say hello to the people out here, man.
What's up, everybody? I'm on with E Global, and E Global got his super name from going global, and his name is E. So going around the world, E Global, everybody was like, here come E Global with the camera, here go E Global with the interview. And you done seen all these podcasts out here, but that man brings the world with him. My brother, E Global.
Thank you for the introduction, bro. All right, we're not gonna cut. We got people out here and everything. All right, I got a few questions from some of the people out here in the audience, and the first question I have for you, bro, is you know, what and why did you decide to come into the virtual world? Because a few other artists figure that like the virtual world and all this is like a new world order or something like that.
Yeah, to come inside the virtual world was easy because coming out of the realm of hip hop and rap music and relying on things like radio and TV, we were always last on the line. And then somebody else had to control the narrative about rap music and hip hop. And once you control the narrative, then they want to also revise the history. And we know the beginnings of hip hop and rap music, as you well know, and also Charlie back there, and also Soul G, you know, the beginnings happened from a lot of different vantage points coming through the Bronx, but everywhere else also was contributing. As it started there, they put it on one thing to another thing, and boom. But when you have cats come out of left field revising it, they on TV, they on the radio, they might have not even been nowhere around it. You know, they might not even been born in the 60s, 70s, or 80s, but telling you where it came from and how it was. But the virtual world at least gave us our voice, especially at the beginning of the century. We was able to like say, these are real people and they're not waiting to get on NBC to say it. They're not waiting to get on BET. This is gonna be directly to the source, directly to the people that lock in. So the virtual world was a way that you actually beat all those other ones out that probably wouldn't give you the play or give you the time.
All right, so let me ask you a question, bro. Right?
You're going to ask me a question or
I'm
a
gonna
bunch of
ask you
questions?
another question. I want to ask
Yes.
you, some of them is from them in all space, but I want to ask you a question. All right.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing out there? Yo, 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 yo.
You
Hey,
gotta
hey,
hook your,
bro.
have to hook
Don't
your
you?
avatar. We're gonna have to hook your
Yeah.
avatar up too, bro. Do you want the hat or do you not want the hat?
Can I draw it?
What Soul G? Well, actually, Jay Most is, he's behind the scenes
I can't wait till realistic faces are able to come in so you can kind of design your avatar. But that's like 2 years away, right? Right, so
But you know what? Now, I think part of the soul of VR is that you're a cartoon because I mean, if we real, it might as well just be a video call. Like this could be alt space because this is all video. You know what I'm saying? What makes it ill to me is that avatar is a different person. Like Jay Will, he's a different person in VR than he is when I see him on this Zoom. That avatar, the appearance of it just gives it its own character, and then you couple it with the personality.
I feel you.
I got another question. Another one is from this person back there, like you always on the cutting edge. I know the things that you're doing, but everybody wants to know, like, you're on the cutting edge of a lot of things, and like, what are you doing that, they should be aware of?
What we try to do that they should be aware of, that everybody, if they learn and take the time to be able to know their interest in this, they might have a talent for learning, but to learn this, you develop that talent into a skill. There ain't no shortcuts. And what I want to do is eliminate the shortcuts. They could come into this world and really seriously build on the real estate that they have. Like the phones. The phones is either a toy or a tool. And I just think we got to a point where, all right, if you growing up with a phone, obviously you growing up with it, so it's a toy. You 6 years old, you playing games all the way to you 16, 17 to 18. But also after 18, 19, they've got all kinds of businesses. They are locking into the world. It's called World Wide Web for a reason. And older cats that's on it got to learn, like, listen, either you be on top of it or it's going to be on top of you. Because if you're older and you want to get in on the real estate of using it as a tool instead of a toy, you got to learn a lot of different things, because it's all about a money game after that point. Either you're going to pay for something or you're going to produce something that people are going to lock into. So I would say, a matter of fact, it ain't got nothing to do with money. I would say that older cats need to use it as a tool. It could save your life. It could give you directions. It could give you advice. Also you could play games on it all damn day, but at the end of a game, what the hell are you going to get for gratification on yourself? So I'm saying that one of the greatest things ever invented was the World Wide Web, and these gadgets that we have, be it a phone, be it an iPad, be it whatever gets you around or whatever, we got to learn the maximum on use it to our benefit.
All right. And another question is, all right, you've been performing for over 30 years.
No, way over 30 years, because mommy had us do, see, people don't know this. Our mother had us do
Google was
stage.
Hey,
you was in the play too, Google?
Yeah, I was in the plays.
Google was in everything we did. That's why he's here now. He's in this. Look, let me tell you something out here in AltspaceVR. He started, bruh. No, I'm gonna let you tell him. How did you get into this rap game?
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Charlie.
No.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you tell us, how did you get into this rap game?
By kicking y'all two out of my goddamn room. 1975, 1976, of course, I'm following sports, baseball, I'm drawing, I'm doing a lot of that stuff. I listen to the radio, but WABC, WWRL, and then all of a sudden, the cassette boxes came out, and also Charlie would come by with these tapes. Remember homeboy across the street, he would have the tapes of DJ Smalls in Hollywood.
Kevin had
and Kevin, right. And they always would come in and bust in my room. Our room, because me and Eric shared the room. Me and E shared the room. My side was my side. His side, he said, was clean of the room, but you put all the stuff under the bed.
Yo, the proof.
The proof, nothing. He would shove all the stuff under the bed. So our mother or father would come upstairs and say, well, Eric's side is clean, because he stacked everything in the closet, everything under the bed.
Because I wanted to hurry up and get out. You wasn't going to participate in the cleaning up.
I was cleaning at my own pace. But y'all would be busting in. You and Charles would be busting in with these tapes, and then also DJing, taking two old turntables, putting them together through an old stereo system and playing all the breaks and stuff. So that introduction came in 1976 from you guys.
So what did we ask you to do for us?
Do flyers. Said, yo, kid, can you do flyers for us? Our DJ unit, E and C, or something like that.
At one time we was the Casanova. Now this is
right.
This is why everything comes in a globe and goes into a circle. Because now we're going to introduce my boy over here, Soul G, who introduced Coog into the hip hop, which gave it to me, and it just like all went into a little circle. Because one day, I'm gonna let Coog tell this. Like back when hip hop first really started, right? Right, bro? Remember they used to have the little, the sweatshirts with the
Yeah,
writing on and all this.
right,
So Coog, we didn't know a name, so our first name was Casanova Crew. And we
right.
ran and got our little money and got our little shirts done. We had the whole sweatsuit done, Casanova Crew. And then we went to the Bronx to see this guy, Soul G. And Soul G, tell us what you told us.
Big mistake. Casanova Crew was a gang on 169th in the Bronx, and these two guys come with these sweatsuits with the bunny. I think you had some bunny, like when they iron on the letters and all of that.
Jamaica Avenue bunnies or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yo, y'all can't wear that. Y'all can't wear that. The Casanova, it was like a big gang, and they had to take that shit off.
Yeah.
I could curse, right?
Yeah, that was our first experience. And we changed our name to Instant Replay.
Yeah, that was it. It's the replay.
I liked how y'all sounded. I didn't think everything was fascinating coming up out of the city. I thought, but when I heard Hollywood, I was like, okay. And then when I heard and saw Flash and Melly Mel, I said, now those are the best I ever seen. Though I couldn't understand Flash and Mel. Flash and Mel was so far ahead of the game. Of course, I like how Mel sounded because he sounded like a man. And me, I already was older, so I didn't want to hear nobody sound like they were 12 and shit. I already was kicking y'all out of my damn room with that kid shit.
Yep.
One thing we knew all growing up in Roosevelt, you was who you was. And that love came out of Roosevelt. Like, a Public Enemy is really Roosevelt.
That's right.
You remember back at a time, man, there was more fathers running than his sons. You go to a game, like the football game, bro, there's more fathers on the sidelines than the boys, yelling and fighting on the little league. All in the 80s, that shit flipped around where it was okay, and in the 90s, okay, where the fathers at? So back in the day, in the 70s, man, it'd be like 50 fathers and 30 kids. You know what I'm saying? And the fathers is fighting. So we all come from that. And that's where Public Enemy came from, because it was just straight up like, it was what it was. It wasn't trying to be all love us and like us. It was like straight up man shit. So that's where that comes from. And I had a crew that had a lot of people from a lot of different areas, but Roosevelt is really Public Enemy. It's because it is. It ain't the city. I mean, our parents is from Harlem. Our cousins is all from the Bronx, Brooklyn, and up in Harlem and whatnot. Queens, we moved to Queens when we was younger. But Roosevelt, Long Island is what Public Enemy came up out of. And it was a whole bunch of different, influences. That town, 1 square mile for one particular point in time, it was no other place like it.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all, man.
All right, but out of all the performances you performed over 30 years, which one really stands out the most to you?
One?
Well, give us two.
One performance?
One or two.
Somebody asked me the favorite concert, the most incredible concert I seen on Twitter. And I said when we was touring in 1988 and Run DMC was at the Summit in Houston. And we was getting a little muscle under the Public Enemy thing, man. I mean, we was fast and furious and powerful. But for some reason this night, Jay, Run, and DMC said, tired of this shit. We're gonna just kick everybody's for yo, man. From second number 1 down to the last cut, they kicked more ass in the performance. I ain't never seen a hip hop show that hard ever, man. Run DMC 1988 in the Houston Summit where the Rockets used to play. So I know what I seen. As far as my favorite, I mean, every place around the world, man, is a great experience, man. I think my favorite 4-year period, Prophets of Rage. that was a great run, man. It was like it opened and it closed out 4 years, just like a college. And everything before PE was just like everything was great. All the years were great. So one show that stand out, there's a lot. It's so many shows that stand out. I mean, Reading and the Reading Festival in 1992 in the mud, man, playing that weekend Nirvana couldn't show up, or our first time going in Australia in 1990 with you know, and Ice-T a couple years later in Australia. That was mind blowing. So that's what like, whoa. So I remember like events around gigs, man, and I could name a top 20, but we ain't got the time. But if I'm a regular guest with y'all, I'll you know, all you gotta do is poke me and I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that, because that's all I do is remember.
Well, I'm sure everybody out there would enjoy you to come back, right? Anyway, Soul G, you got
Will y'all enjoy me to come back though?
Oh, hell yeah. Matter of fact, not come back yet, because he ain't going nowhere yet, right? So
yeah. Soul G, I think, you know, and finally we get reunited because Soul G, you know, produced and recorded, you know, songs on. Now it's they say it's like a little bit of a legendary album, the solo project I did, Autobiography of Mr. Chuck. I didn't look at it that at the time. I looked at it as like a project, and people like, oh yeah, when you did that, you know, that was, you know, this and that. I was like, oh, okay, you know. But now people look at that as being like one of those old school classics. So Soul G, I really appreciate that. You know, we got some things we'll work together, a couple songs in the near future. And as far as E Global and Charlie Malik, you know, and Kugel, as we say, you know, I've been with y'all all my life, and I would love to kick y'all out of a virtual room. Can I kick y'all out of this room, or the other way around?
We can boot you out.
Hey, Charlie, where you at, Charlie?
I'm in
there, man. What up, Poppy? No, that's your name, the Poppy. Yo, Charlie, Poppy Pimp out there. Poppy Pimp, the DR man.
You know what?
Poppy Pimp.
Oh man.
I got a question, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite 2 bars that you ever said? And I got my own of yours.
I got so much trouble on my mind, and I refuse to lose.
Wow. Damn, I don't even want to say mine now. I'm still saying. Heed the words from the brother with the voice that got the muscles in it. That's one.
Well, that's your song.
Of course it's gonna be on my song. And limousines ain't a damn thing unless they let me keep it.
I always used to bug out when people used to talk about I'm taking a limo. I said, they're gonna let you keep it? I mean, how you gonna brag about something that you borrowing or you written, or better yet, there's a time limit on it. It's like bragging about an Uber. I mean, I'll be like, you know, and a lot of times back in the day, man, the limo costs so much, you might as well, damn near, if you have it for a week, you could buy a car. You could buy a real car for the cost of a limo for a week. And I would see like record companies have a artist, you know, just going from wherever to the city every day of the week. I'm like, they better be checking the math on their contracts, because you find out at the end of the day, say, oh yeah, we got to recoup this limo cost. How much was the limo cost? Oh, about 15,000. You could have bought you could have bought a car, man, for that much, man. But there's been so much money that has been wasted in the record business, man. That's what made it kind of go down. Mismanagement, neglect, lack of administration, and all the great administrators, they jumped off to other things. Like they got out of music, went to TV, went to film, went to sports. A lot of them went to sports. And you know, you had cats go to sports, man, and work on 3%. Have somebody like a Kevin Garnett making $80 million. That 3% is like, boom. You know, you could get 50% of an artist and they're not getting nothing. So, you know, we need the brains.
When you're geographically confined, you can only find the artist in that area. But in VR, I could be standing next to somebody, he could be from Australia. So
Right.
is it something you could say to kind of like endorse, not saying that PE is looking for talent, but endorse what we're doing, that we're searching for talent in all space. I don't know if I'm wording it correct.
No, you are,
I know,
but
I
you
know
know,
exactly.
I'm gonna put in a plug right here.
Okay.
I've been doing the And You Don't Stop radio show for 12 years now. It's on 12 Pacifica stations, WBAI in New York City, all the way to WPPM in Ventura, California. We on 200 community stations around the planet through the feed on Pacifica, and also rapstation.com, and which is the world's loudest rap radio internetwork. Every week I do a show called And You Don't Stop. You can go to Mixcloud, you can go to Rap Station. Matter of fact, you can go pull down the app at rstvapp.com, rstvapp.com, and get our 10 stations that we be doing it. Yup. So there's a visual side that we also kitting out right after the 1st today, August 1st, where the talent that comes in and send your talent to And You Don't Stop at channelzero.net, and also Rap Station Flotation. That's FLOW-tation, TATION, Rap Station Flotation, where we already curate your music that you send to us. So we've been breaking new artists for like 15 years and 12 years as Rap Station and the And You Don't Stop radio show. So from that point on, you can know what you're set out to do, and it should be an easy bridge going from that world right on over into the virtual. Because we already got cats from around the world anyway, but it was all the audio. Now this is the next step, interactive, virtual, as well as the video now we could be able to do on RSTV. I got nothing but shameless plugs, but this book,
Here we go.
Right.
and what I try to do is just make sure that the facts will be and be delivered.
That's just
All right.
I like that.
Oh, you got
It's an
that?
old calendar. It's an old calendar, but I got a couple of
I
those.
like it though.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And it's another thing, like just traveling around the world, right? I come across dudes like, yo, Chuck, your brother, yo, man, I know this kid that's fire. I'm talking about, this dude, yo, man, ain't nobody messing with him. He's the next Tupac. I'm like, yo, I understand all that, but look, my brother been around the world, yo. I know rappers, man, that's spitting 11 languages, man. you can't follow them. I said, yo, bro, tell them, right? When you go around the world, like, and we let them, we have a freestyle session, right? We had a freestyle session. Hey, yo, the dude to jump on stage, freestyle in American, French, Japanese, and something else. How you gonna beat that?
Yo, I be telling these cats all the time, right, online on Twitter, in the arguments or debates or whatever they want to call it, with cats about hip hop is crazy, and cats be talking to me, and like, yeah, Chuck, man, yeah, I'm gonna let you know, yeah, Chuck done left us, man. He ain't even relevant no more. And they've been in one place or two places, but I've been around the world. Then they start saying shit like, so what big deal is that you know how to spit in 2 or 3 languages? What big fucking deal? I'm like, bro, I'm trying to tell you now that you have a point about United States shit maybe 25 years ago, but now cats is doing that, yo, man. Not only is cats doing everything that you think is unimaginable, they doing things on top of that that make you like, no, for real? That same night, also another thing happened I never saw before, is I seen this thing come in front of me and stare at me in the front of the stage. It's like, yo, man, it's about 50,000 people out there for the city of Sao Paulo. I'm looking at this thing, looking at me. That was the first time I saw a drone.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to hit it with a bat, but I was like, I don't know what to.
I was seconds from grabbing it because it dropped down to their T-bone. I was over there, so I was getting ready to grab it. They was like, yo, that'll take your whole finger off. I was like, yo.
Yeah, because it had propellers on it, man.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this, man? So yeah, man, the minute you think you've seen it all and got it figured out, we like, yo, man, the world ain't only caught up. They way past it. and they looking at the United States like, yeah, all right, you know, y'all got all those things holding y'all back. You can't get this in that country. Y'all got people, you know, you think, and see, that's another place, China. You know they don't allow hip hop in that country no more, right?
Well, since yeah, so
In China, in mainland China. That's what they told me.
Let me cut in there. Do you think that's to their detriment, or is it a positive thing that they
Bro,
don't?
listen, cats ain't gonna like me for saying this, but it is what it is, bro. China they already looking at taking over the world, man, by 2030, man. So y'all better be ready for it. And you know what? You can't brain up to catch up if you don't brain up now and we don't collect as people to know who we are, where we are in this world. Because let me tell you, man, straight up and down, man, China as a movement, as a country, cats could spit all that anti-Asian, all they wanted. Let me tell you, the country of China, they're not playing around, man. They collective, they focused, and when cats is sleeping and not thinking, they're gonna be like, yo, well, we got you. We're not gonna beat you with military or bombs yet if we don't decide to. We're gonna beat you with intelligence and whatever you like, we're gonna have. And if you want, you want to live in a house like Atlanta, but live in an African country where they have speed rail and highways. Well, we built the highways, we built the speed rail, we've been designed the airports, and we'll give you a Rick Ross house in Uganda for $85,000. Cats is gonna be moving out of the United States to Africa in the next 15 years, like they moved from New York to Atlanta. Trust me on that. And who built it? Who actually made it possible? The Chinese moved into Africa, man. And all they doing is working on your emotions. Like, okay, you want to be big Willie, you want to have it all kitted out and stuff like that. We'll make everything that you want and make you and we'll even get it to a point where you got stress and pressures where you at in a country that lies and say they don't like you anyway. You're gonna make some decisions in the next 15 years anyway, or your kids will make some decisions. That's like, don't go, baby. Why you moving? Why you moving to like Tanzania? Don't go, baby. Stay right here. While you 65 or 58 and they 31 moving to Tanzania, and you in St. Louis or New York or LA say, you need to stay here in your country. All right.
Yep, they down here in DR, big.
Chinese, China, and notice I say Chinese, because I'm not even breaking it down to the demographic of human beings. All right. No, the country of China is telling its population to grind, hustle, and don't stop. Because the only way you're going to beat that is having a collective that's as intelligent, or even maybe collectively more intelligent. But then, okay, it's like the Tina Turner song. Now you found love or intelligence. What you going to do with it? Mm-hmm. You smart, but what you making? What you doing? How you making me happy? They already figured that out. It's like, oh yeah, you like to dress in this. Okay, you want to get this look on. You want to have this car. You want to get this house. You want to get it kitted out. Got you. How you going? Nah, I don't want any of that. I'm gonna just do it straight up from the pebble. Okay. Good luck with that one. It's like, oh, we gotta get this land so we can figure it out, and then we're gonna bring, architects, then we're gonna bring ecologists and irrigate. We had a chance, and we have a chance to build a world nation inside a nation, but got beat to the punch, and we know that racism is thick on the darker people of the planet. If you dark, you black, you catching the most hell, which means if you catching the most hell, the only thing you could do is love each other and get together and try to learn and live and grow together, because we're going to have to fight just to be able to say, human family, we here too. We can't just be up there like claiming what our ancestors did and we just making claims. Somebody once told me, he says, yeah, I come from immigrants, man. And he was an old dude. He says, yeah, my people moved the Lower East Side, man. And then I come up on the father that, we had it rough, man. But every time when I was grown, I looked at him after he had his leg off and whatnot. I said, yo, how do I go out there and honor that pain? How do I honor the pain of him busting his ass? And that's what we had, and we still have as a people, but I think that we can't lose sight of that. You know, whenever I went out there, I was like, how do I honor the pain of my pops going out there and working 2 jobs? How do I honor that pain? How do I honor that pain of what my brother gone through or what my sister gone through? I gotta step up and honor that pain with a grind, and then I gotta be also open to spread whatever knowledge I get or whatever I have that we all could come up and rise. So I'm just saying, any animosity that's headed towards the Chinese government by the rest of the world, they ready for. Mm-hmm. They ready for it. They're like, yeah, well, you know, whatever way you don't want to bring it. Whatever way you don't want to bring it, we're going to bring it, because they have a doctrine now that's also now moving into the area of we together, and it's hard to break this thing that we got. So we could call it we could make a whole lot of similarities to movements in the last 150 to 200 years. We could make comparisons, but one thing we cannot avoid the comparison of what's going on in this country with the rise of fascism, and what's going on in this country with the rise of just anti-people of color, divisive politics, and just a look upon us like we lesser than, as you know, Black people are lesser than. Oh yeah. And that's why I think it's part of the trick. We're gonna have videos where at the end of the day, they're gonna throw money at the camera. What do you think that when a rapper or somebody throws money at the camera and somebody is on the other side and they pops lost their job in a car plant in Ohio, and they see that they're gonna have it rough, right, in white America, and they see this on the camera thinking that, damn, man, it's like one dude throwing money at the camera out of maybe 12 rappers doing it. 12 rappers, man, it's like 30 to 50 million Black people ain't got throwing no money at no damn camera. But in your mind, you keep seeing it over and over again. And somehow animosity is like, I lost my job, I lost my farm, I lost my crib, and Black people balling. They LeBron James, they so-and-so rapper, and they got money, they just throwing at the camera. I'm mad at them, I'm envious, F them. And then, you know, y'all had a Black president, I lost my job, man. You know, all this Black animosity, man, is building up because of the images put out there about us. And quiet is kept, and sadly, these images go around the world. Yeah. And you don't, and for once upon a time, they brought us in China. Public Enemy performed in Beijing. Yo, man, it's like, you know what, man? You're not coming in this country with rap music unless it goes through a strainer, and we don't even want to allow that. We played in Indonesia. Eric could tell you. Played in Indonesia just 2 years ago. They had to say, yeah, you can play your songs, Prophet the Rage, but you will not talk to the crowd at all. You play your songs, you get down, take your ass home.
Now, I got another question.
I just went to the AltspaceVR, and everyone wants to wish you a happy birthday, bro.
So all AltspaceVR, yeah. Thanks, y'all. On the AltspaceVR, I'm 122.
You know what I want to ask you, Chuck?
Yeah.
What does your birthday mean to you? Is it just another day? You know, what does a birthday mean to you?
Currency. That's currency from God, man. Birthday swing around, that revolution come around, man. You better thank the gods and then thank your mom. My mom is the one that did all that work. All I did was just be pop. Hey. My mom, that's why I celebrate my birthday, and I, you know, my mom did the labor. That's so right. She's still around. So I try to make it her birthday too.
No doubt.
I mean, think about it. I mean, what did we do?
Nothing.
All you do is just be born.
That's right.
Yeah.
I always wondered about that myself, man.
That's why they call it joining labor. They had to do the labor and shit.
that goes back to people be like, yo, man, I'm from the Bronx, nigga. I'm from Brooklyn. If you wasn't born,
You
if your
you from
parents
your
was,
mom's,
You know what
right?
I'm saying?
If your parents was to go to Bolivia, you'd be a Bolivian motherfucker for real.
Yo, you know
You
what?
got no choice. You
all
got
right, let
no
me ask you
choice.
a question. All right, all right. A lot of people coming, yo, man, yo, man, we from Africa. And then, like, I'm at the point where, like, I ain't from Africa. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? I ain't from Africa. People be like, yo, you African American. I'm not an African American. I'm a fucking American.
Uh-oh.
African American. Look, they think like when they label you, like when you're doing like I'm doing I'm filling out an application, they be like Black African American, you know what I'm saying? African American, you might not have black. I'm put black. Why you put black? You're African American. I'm not African American. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I've been in Africa.
Black.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But I'm not African. I'm fucking American. My mother and father's them fucking American. My grandparents is fucking American.
Exactly.
Look, Shirley, I know, she's a Caucasian. She's African American, right?
Right, right. Like the actress Charlize Theron. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people be like, yo,
Black
man, yo, yeah.
black works all the time, man, with me. Just black, you know what I'm saying? Because black is when you say you black, that already is saying you from the origin, and you can actually be seen and say, yeah, black is the ethnicity that I align with. And all the other terms, those are constructs that people could use. I think people could use whatever they want to use, whatever. I'm just saying what I use.
But it's quick for you go to a African and be like, yo, I'm an African American.
Right.
Talk about you, man. You ain't from Africa. And like a lot of them is like, yo, man, you ain't.
Well, I ain't fighting with them, but I ain't saying that they totally right either. So I'm just saying that you know, I mean, the black diaspora answers a lot of questions with how we need to at least look at ourselves as being together a little bit more than what we are right now.
All right,
That's
back
all I'm
on
saying.
questions. On the questions, we have one like, all right, as one of the greatest records or albums put together at all times. Of course, they say takes a nation of millions.
Right.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Greatest record of all time album, right? Do you believe that this is do you believe that? Like as far as one of your greatest albums of all time?
Oh, no question. When we did Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, when we was making it, we said this gonna be the greatest record ever. We were shooting for Marvin Gaye's What's Going On out of hip hop. And it was like, myself, Hank, Eric, Flavor, Keith. I mean, we put foot in that. We said, listen, we're gonna make some untouchable shit. Like boom. And we knew that what we was doing because there wasn't a lot of albums before that. So it was influential things. Like it was like, I remember when Earth, Wind and Fire did Gratitude and they had, clap your hands, everybody. They had a crowd, but also they had the music. That was a live album. I said, we want to do something that gives you that same feeling, but from somewhere else. That's why when you first hear Takes a Nation of Millions, you hear London. You don't hear like, New York or Philly or Florida or LA. Welcome, London. And so that made people like, what the fuck is, where are they at? London. And it's going down. We ripping it up. You need to know this, And that's what kind of like caught people by surprise. They like, yo, they overseas doing this shit. So I guess maybe that weird ass sound and that crazy shit they be doing and that crazy dude they play with, maybe there's something that I ain't up on. And we caught the United States by surprise. Our first spot in our base has always been London. Our second spot is the United States. And then the United States caught it the year after. And the first city that took on Public Enemy was Philadelphia. Philadelphia is our first city, not New York, not anywhere else. Philly and Lady B, and also, Mimi down there in Philadelphia, E.C. LaRock down there, in Philadelphia, rest in peace, rest in beats. And there was a lot of movement of Mimi Brown, like I said, with WDAS. There was a lot of movement in Philadelphia on the Public Enemy name. I remember I used to do shit like go down to Philly and then take the train back and the bus to the train after a gig or whatever. I don't know why I was down there. And it was just me and this other dude on a train, which is me and him on a train. And not even, wasn't even going to Amtrak, it was like SEPTA, you know, the city bus or whatever. And the dude was sitting across and he had Yo Bummer's show and he was over on the other side going like that. I was like, oh shit. You don't even know I'm here, man. That's the shit. So I used to always be like right in the middle of the mix and they didn't even know I'm there. The next time we came into Philadelphia, we already was on the Def Jam tour. Played May, June, July, August. That's us and Stetson Sonic shared a bus. Then you had Eric B. and Rakim, who were the hottest on the planet. Then you had Doug Fresh, who would tear a place apart. Then you got Houdini, who was just legends on their 4th year in a row and doing stadiums. And then closing it out, you had LL, which was ridiculous, right? And we were opening up. We would get this momentum May, June, July, August, playing everywhere. And we play in Rebel Without a Pause, like in spots like Wichita, and they staring at us. Like they don't, come on, man. It's like,
Wow.
they don't even know, like this, it's this noise and a bunch of cats running around.
Wow.
But we doing it in front of them, you know? So by the time we start coming east, the crowd start being like, you know, we played Detroit. Yo, bro, Grandpa came out to the gig. Our grandparents in Detroit. Yeah. Grandpa came to the gig in Detroit. 20,000 in Joe Louis Arena. Grandpa would always be like, you happy doing what you're doing? The next question he'd be asking, you making money? Well, we can do a little something. But anyway, I remember playing that gig in Detroit. If you want to talk about gigs to remember. And that was the first gig that the other acts were coming outside from their dressing rooms trying to figure out what the commotion was. Remember, we got 10 minutes, 12 minutes in the beginning. But they said, like, there's some noise going on out there in the beginning of the show that we don't understand. That's when we start coming east, because we're going to play Detroit. And the next gig was Madison Square Garden. And then the next gig after Madison Square Garden was 2 concerts in Philadelphia. Not 1, 2 of them back to back. We played the Garden, and the crazy thing about it, we played Rockford, Illinois, then we played Detroit, and knock on my door. Who is it? Eric B. What's up, E? Yo, man, Scott LaRock got killed.
That was the first.
Boogie Down Production was supposed to replace us on the tour through September and October. Scott LaRock and KRS. They were supposed to replace us. Remember, they got the most blazing thing all everywhere. And they're in New York. Red Alert is their DJ. Wow. So what happened at the Garden, that KRS, Boogie Down was on that show, KRS is getting down on Terminator's coffin with Red Alert, his DJ. So the lights are spinning, look strange because it looked like damn near like KRS-One is getting down and Scott LaRock is in the coffin. It was weird, but he ripped that shit to shreds though.
I got a question for the 2 brothers. So E, what record did you come home to when you found out?
I came home to Rebel, and what happened was I'm gonna tell you my little thing. Before I left, I got locked up, and Chuck was like this when I left, doing his little dice baseball and this and that. So it wasn't no hip hop.
But I was with Spectrum though.
You wasn't with Spectrum.
I was with Spectrum in '79.
Yeah, he was with Spectrum, buddy.
I was with Spectrum.
Yeah, but that was college. That was
right.
This little thing.
Right. Was it?
You wasn't like going to the park jams and
no. I wasn't doing little kid shit. We was throwing the park jams, and I was in Spectrum.
Really getting into it in college.
Right.
With BAU, but Spectrum. I got with Spectrum in '79. Right. And you going back and forth to the city, but Spectrum I mean, me, Hank, and all that. We were promoting hip hop artists. Like what? You came out in 84, 85 with Undefeated 3. So we were promoters.
Right.
We wasn't the artists. That's what caught Eric by surprise. It's like
I came home all right. When I came home,
Plus, you wasn't paying attention anyway.
that was 86. No, that was 80. I wasn't paying attention. No,
You wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Right. So 86, come home, right? Now, when I went away like now you know when you go away in New York, your ass is you may well say you going to Canada.
You damn near was there in Canada too.
This is 82. This is 1982, 83. My number one song was Abracadabra out this fall. You know, black panties when they're in your face and shit like that. That's what I'm jamming off to.
And then the crazy thing is like me and my mom drove up to I ain't gonna name the place, but drove up, you know. And man, they were so mean to my mom and me. I said, man, Ma, this is the last time we're gonna have to just wait on the outside because this is like seriously, I'll get arrested if they treat you like they was just like talking to my mom any old way, man. And we come up to, visit my brother, like, yo, man, we just not gonna do this one. And I drove all the way up there, drove my mom. And then I think we saw you for about like a few minutes. And then if that, right? If that, just a few minutes. And I was like, you know what? And then I knew later on, I said the way that these COs and all these people is acting on some redneck, I said, yo, man, the minute that if I'm famous and I go do that, I mean, I don't want to see my brother, be the product of jealousy, especially by the stuff I was talking. You know what I'm saying? But that was crazy.
No doubt.
So to answer your question, so I come home, I get as soon as I get off at Port Authority, the long bus ride, you get off at Port Authority. Back then, they playing music in the train station, wherever the fuck on the bus, back then you got the box and shit. I get off Port Authority, I'm hearing cars going by, people walking, jigga, 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 yes, the rhythm, the rebel, I'm hearing that shit. Get in the train station, right? Take the train, get out on the train, somebody got it on their block, jigga, 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 yes, the rhythm, the rebel, I'm like, so now I get off in Queens, the train, I get on the bus going to Long Island, digga, 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 damn. So now it's like in my head, and Kiss was really cutting it up. Kiss, Master Mix, tigga, 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 that they just kept doing it. Yes, tigga, tigga, yeah, boy, And so I get off, and I'm in Hempstead now. So I forgot who it was, but I'm walking. He's like, yo, I just came home, walking and shit. And then here comes some like 298s. They hooked up. They blasting shit. Digga, 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 bang. And I was like walking, I was like, yo, I like that shit. Yo, I hear that. I like that fucking record, man. This dude was like, what? The nigga pushed me. He's like, yo, what? I said, I like that record. He said, yo, you don't know who that is? I said, no, how the fuck am I gonna know who that is? He said, yo, man, that's your physical, man. I'm like, what? He said, yo, that's your brother's shit. I'm like, get the fuck. He said, yo, that's unbelievable. So, and I get home, and like previous before that, he told you how they would treat my mom, but like, look, back then it wasn't like, it was like you get one phone call a month, and that shit was only 5 fucking minutes. And I was a fuck up in there, so I'll never call because I ended up losing my phone call privileges and all that shit. So it's like when you do get that 5 minutes, it's like, hello, how's everybody? Everybody's good, and the rest is you. Yo, I need this. Can I have this? That's it. So I remember calling my mom, like, "Oh, your brother made a record." I'm like, "All right, mom, this is that." Boom, and hung up. So I get back upstairs. I'm like, my brother made a record. What the fuck is? Hey, I'm like a record, like what kind of record? So I'm thinking, like, maybe he did some baseball shit or some shit. I have no clue of what the fucking record is, Coop. Coop, I ain't got no clue.
I know.
So then a little bit later on, I think about a week or 2 weeks later, he sent me this picture, right? The picture where you signed the contract for Def Jam.
Oh yeah.
I have no clue of what the fuck Def Jam is. None of that shit.
Right.
If I see him, Hank, I really know Flav, him, a little black Flav, right?
Right. None of
I
this.
don't know what the hell is going on. They got these little tiny clocks around their head. And so I show my boy. He the one named me E Global, matter of fact. My boy Shy.
He did.
My boy
Really?
Shy. I show him, and he calls the shots. He calls everything, man. Big shout out to Shy, right? So I go like this, and I'm like, yo, look at the picture. It's like, and he's like, oh, that's the contract. Yo, I think I heard of the Def Jam thing. Word. And then I'm like, they got the little clocks on. He's like, yo, that's probably gonna be their little, that's gonna be
their logo thing.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's probably their little logo thing, and that's that. And sure enough, the clock was. But it was funny. I came home and then, and bro, remember that day I came home? That's the day you came home from the Run DMC and the overseas tour.
Right.
Another question. How much of were you thinking of E Global when you wrote Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos?
Oh, I thought like that's half the song, thinking about my brother. Because like I told you earlier, like my mom and I drove to so-and-so, so-and-so, to so-and-so, to spend a day and to do it on a periodic tip. But the COs in that particular facility was so mean to my mom, I took it out in that song. Also, half of the song was for our uncles that Eric could tell you that went to Vietnam and came back injured from Purple Heart. I think we used to put the Purple Hearts on the G.I. Joes, right, bro?
Oh wow!
Yeah, the little case on the little plastic little bullshit case with the sponge and shit.
Yep.
E Global, what you want to say to your brother on his birthday, Eric? Like, what's your birthday message to your brother?
Happy birthday.
It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy.
Happy birthday. Look, happy birthday, Chuck. But now, listen.
Happy birthday, bro. I love you, man. It's just so much I can talk about, man. But,
Yeah, it's so much. Yeah, the joyful time of seeing my brother, where the system they had their way, man. But my brother's traveled the world, man, the last 12, 15 years, man, making sure that he points to the system that they could do better.
That's right.
And so that's been a joy. It made my mom and my dad very happy to see us work together.
Yes, it did.
And we'd be very happy too, man, because all the time, and like I used to just be laying down like locked in, like I'm talking about in the box and just be like, damn. But I used to read, and I'd be reading books and shit, be like, damn, Brazil, I would love to be in that motherfucker. It's like, seriously, like the one I always say is Brazil, because this one book I was reading, this motherfucker was just got away from everything, and he said he was in the mountains of Brazil eating the finest chocolate and shit and all this. God damn, man. If I could do that shit, And when I got to Brazil, I was like, this is it, but I don't think I'm gonna be up in these mountains.
No. You was down, you was down in the finest restaurants. That's right.
Yeah. Brazilian steakhouse?
Yeah.
Well, I ain't never seen that.
Don't you got a story about Brazil with something with Wu-Tang and something like that?
Oh yeah, I got a story. All right, let me tell you. right? This was 1985. I was in Queensboro, correction, and I was in the box. I had a fight with this dude. I was in the box. So while I'm in the box, one dude's yelling down and shit. Yo, what up, man? Yo, what up? Yo, I heard Chuck D's your brother, man. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, man, you know, I be hanging out with Redman and Meth, man. You know, that's my people and shit, this and that, this and that. And I'm like, word. He's like, yeah, man, my name's Seven, man. You know, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You know, who knows, man? One day we might see each other out there and shit, this and that. But I'm go home, man. I ain't fucking with this shit no more. I'm gonna get with them. I'm like, word, this and that. That was 85. I think 2004 when we went to Brazil, Sao Paulo, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
We went to Sao Paulo
Paulo,
the first time, or you know, like George Clinton turned 80, and we was there. George Clinton when he turned 70. So that was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. So that's 2011.
All right. So 2000. This was 85. I met him. 2011. We did the show in Brazil. George Clinton, this and that. And remember, the Woo was out there at our hotel.
Right.
We went to after. We was going to go to this after party, and then me and T-Bone, the drummer, he decided he got too drunk. So me and Davey, we went to the little after party in the hotel. I think one of them airlines, right? So in the morning, we just stayed up. And so in the morning, you know, you see Meth, Redman, all them just started coming in the hotel. Like, yo, what up, yo? Everybody started giving pounds and everything, this and that. Like, yo, man, I'm hungry. Why ain't y'all come to the party or whatever? So I'm sitting there and I see this dude just standing there, like looking like. And I'm like, yo, why this dude keep looking at me, man? And I'm looking at this dude like, why this dude? Then the next thing you know, you go, yo, your name E? I look at him, I'm like, Seven. He like, yo, what's up, man? I'm like, oh, man, I told you I'll see you out here, man. Like, out of all the places. Brazil, man. So, yo, we was both talking like, yo, man, look where we at, man. Look where we at, man. You know?
That's beautiful.
That's the beautiful thing in the hip hop, rap music brotherhood that never gets talked about, Soul G, is because the brotherhood, no matter what happened in your background, this wasn't like cats in sports where you got organized, you know, leagues and people come together. This was a music that wasn't meant to be. So therefore, a lot of people had different circumstances from different parts of the country and not different parts of the world. And the music elevated to a point where we could do positive things and work together, no matter what the system in society still wants to, to look down upon. That's why we say, even as OGs, it said, you want to treat this music good because it will take you places and you can grow people and you can grow with people. And that's an irreplaceable feeling, man. That the feeling is better than money.
All right. So let's do some rapid questions so we can remember let's cover some more ground. So one, Chuck, do you have any predictions for maybe not specifically Altspace, but for virtual reality? I remember years ago, you kind of had predictions for the internet, and I'm not gonna say I really thought that they would come true. And you kind of talked about people buying music at home years ago, and all of that came through. So do you have any predictions for VR and where that's going to take us?
Predictions for VR is that the 2020 was the unofficial but official ushering from citizens into netizens. People are now netizens, whether they like it or not. People are not net literate though. They don't know how to read the net. They don't know how to figure out whether it's a toy or a tool, this gadget they got attached to them by whatever means necessary. They can say whether they like it or not, but it seems like everybody need one, from child to old head, right? So it's a tool to help you navigate through that what? that medicine world, virtual reality, which is a world that's parallel to the real world. A cat could be like, you know what, I'm home all the time, but you spending all your time in that world that's already been made for you. And you know what? The crazy thing about it is that you can serve a physical price in time for something that you do in the medicine world for the virtual. You do something in the virtual world, like you do some old, what they call white collar digital crime up in there. Your ass is serving real body time for what you're doing in the medicine world, because it's a real world now. And now you seeing people, they shifted over, especially during last year when everybody was home. But one thing we don't think about, right? Now I'm not gonna get into 5G conspiracy, but let's think about it. I don't remember any of this shit breaking down. Everybody was home and online, and then not one day did the grid go down.
You're right.
Not one day. So when all that stuff they was talking about before, like, yo, they built 5G towers, and when they build the 5G towers, there's gonna be a lot of casualties. I'm not getting into. I think what's that girl's little young girl's name? Carrie Henson. I think the singer. She was the first. When she put it out there, and cats they were coming at her like flat world and the whole nine shit, right? But there's something to think about, because 2020, everybody spent more time at one spot all over the world than ever before. So everything had to be put on hold because of what? The pandemic, or for what? So it's one thing related to another thing related to whatever. But regardless of whatever you want to think, the virtual world has been set in place and is here for real. Where does this go in the future? More people will spend more time in the virtual world than they will spend in real life. Matter of fact, we also know, Eric will tell you, E-Global will tell you, when we at concerts, right, bro? We at concerts, how many people out there filming the screens more than they watching what's in front of their eyes?
All day.
All day, right?
People will post right when they're having one of them big screens over there. They might not even look at the concert. They just right there getting that footage right there, and that's it.
Right there.
They go home and see the concert.
Right. They right in front. I mean, I'm looking at cats right in front of me, right? Like 40 feet away, and they filming the screen.
Wow.
That's why I say also, performance-wise, I gotta add this, Soul G. Performance-wise, the screen technology made the crowds bigger and bigger and bigger. You already had LCD screens, which means that you could sit in the back of a stadium and see everything clear like you're looking in your hand. You also had the sound systems that were sounding bigger than ever because of digital. So now they could put 50,000 people in a stadium and everybody could get the same sound and sight as powerful as if they're looking in a closed-up club. What nobody anticipated was that the pandemic would come along and then knock crowds out and down. But who knows if that's just a stopgap. So long story short, the virtual world is here to stay, and things over the last year and a half have been put in place for them not to go away. And who knows what's ever going to come in the future.
Would you be willing to do a virtual world concert?
Of course, with y'all. Of course, with y'all.
Yeah, that was a great answer.
That was the shortest answer of the night.
Look, Jay Will, I see him still spinning in his chair right now.
Yeah, so now, next question. That brings me to my next one. Internet beef. Is it real or is it to make money? Is it to garner interest, or do these people really dislike each other?
How are they going to dislike somebody they don't see day to day? So it's like a little bait and catch, man. I put a little bit on the end of the hook, put it out in the digital waters, and see who bites.
There you go.
Because look, before you had to go to the store and support who you like. Now it's like, well, you? Cheapest price to pay, they say, is attention. Attention is the currency of the digital and the virtual world. And all they got to do is pay attention, and then they got to process the attention into revenue. but it's almost like they kind of like just making up games to make up the currency, making up money. It's important for us to keep real things in real time with real people, but we on the way out. I'm 61, gonna be 61 years old. So I'm in the final quarter. If it's a basketball game, it's the final quarter, man. First, second quarter, halftime, third quarter is 40 to 60. Third quarter is over with, man. What's your end game going in the fourth quarter? Anything after 80 is overtime. In football, they call it sudden death.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So treat your last quarter, you treat all your, life is a game, but it ain't. So treat your time very carefully and sparingly. I ain't trying to rush to get the next month. I ain't rushing to get the next week. I ain't trying to rush to get the next day. Here's another thing about life, man. Ain't nobody getting the next week faster than nobody else. That's why everybody got a shot.
That's right.
And especially people got a shot now because everything was put on hold last year. So if anybody's telling you, oh yeah, I'm already ahead of the game, they telling a damn lie, man. Nobody know what's going to happen next year in 2022. They didn't see 2020 coming.
There you go.
Right,
So it's inspirational that everybody, if you really feel that you got a shot to be where you want to be. But, preparation, opportunity, perseverance, dedication, passion. It's no guarantees that you're going to hit that goal, but you don't stand a chance without it.
Hey, bro, I want to thank you and everybody in AltspaceVR. Want to thank you for coming out and giving us your time. It's late. I'm getting ready to wipe my ass with this one, and I'm going to flush it until next time. I love y'all, AltspaceVR, and we'll see y'all next time.